Guy scores 120 free flights by posing as flight attendant before getting busted. Dude fooled airline staff for 120 flights? Honestly, if this guy doesn't get jail time, they should probably give his ass a job. They say he wore a uniform, pushed carts, and even gave safety demos. He only got caught when the pilot asked, "Why is the guy stewardess rocking Crocs?" What the fuck is up, internet? Welcome to the channel, and thank you for checking out this episode of Crazy Ass News. In this series, I pick news articles I don't know anything about, based solely on their headline. Then I read through them while talking shit the whole time. But instead of going in completely blind, I think it's fun to make a few predictions first. So my first guess is this dude either stole a uniform or he had some inside help. I don't think you can just buy a fake flight attendant uniform and just get away with rocking it. It had to be kind of legit. I'm leaning towards he had inside help because how did he know anything about what the job entailed? He just showed up and just watched and learned? My second prediction, my gut's telling me that this dude got caught because he was probably like bragging on social media. He was probably taking pictures of him as a flight attendant. He was probably taking pictures of himself at these places. 120 flights, who knows where the fuck he was going. But he would just take pictures of himself in places where he shouldn't be. And people that knew him probably started asking questions like, dude, you're not a fucking flight attendant. And he probably like was being followed by the people that thought they were working with him. And since every time I read one of these, some crazy ass like fact just jumps off the page at me and shocks the hell out of my ass. And for that, I bet you that this guy had like a whole backstory laid out. Like this dude went all in. He was probably like, yeah, I trained at so-and-so. I've been a flight attendant for so many flights. He probably made up this whole shit. Oh yeah, I trained down in Fort Lauderdale. Alright, let's see what I got us into this time. From the God Forbid a Man Have Hobbies file, the Department of Justice announced this week that a gentleman who posed as a flight attendant, who scored more than 100 free flights over the course of 6 years. Oh, interesting. So he spread it out. Huh. Well, how many flights do you think a normal flight attendant would take in a 6-year span? They must have thought he was just part-time. Maybe that helped him get away with it, was like, oh, sorry, I haven't worked in a while. You know what I mean? If he needed an excuse. He must have been working a real job, probably, in order to afford to, the flight was free, but he still had to, like, pay for wherever it was he was going to. Like food and hotel or whatever it was he was doing. Now I'm like, what was he doing? Where was he going? My first assumption was he was just going on vacations. Huh, interesting. He's been convicted of wire fraud and entering into a secure area of an airport under false pretenses. Yeah, that makes sense. Wire fraud. Huh, what's that part of it? Wire fraud. I wonder what the fuck he did to get that charge. In a plot that frankly doesn't seem that wild if you watch the most recent season of Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal. I haven't. I don't know what that... I've never heard of that. Who the fuck is Nathan Fielder's? Man, my brain is just old and full of like useless information. I don't know who anybody is. And half the shit that's on television, I couldn't tell you. 35-year-old Tyron Alexander allegedly managed to secure flights that were supposed to only be available to pilots and flight attendants. Wait, so no passengers were on these planes? Huh? What the hell? Do they just fly flight attendants and What? I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe it's not worded right. Maybe it's like this was... I never heard of that, have you? According to the Department of Justice, Alexander was able to book the flights by falsifying employment information and providing badge numbers that apparently allowed him to bypass the security of the online booking options for... Oh, so he wasn't... Oh, so he wasn't like pulling a shift on the plane. Oh, that changes everything. So he was just falsifying information to say that he was a flight attendant so he could get free flights. Oh, that makes way more sense and a lot less crazy, actually, if you think about it. So he was just... So he didn't have to prove himself as like being a flight attendant. Oh, okay. That was my first assumption. Man. Huh. Interesting. I guess that you would just assume they would get discounts, but free flights every now and then. That's pretty clutch if you're like a flight attendant or a pilot. You want to go somewhere on your fucking... You can just zip... Damn. Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Alexander's primary victim was a single airline through which he allegedly booked 34 different flights. I said he was like $120 though, so the other one, he must have like used the other ones like sparingly. He submitted documentation showing that he worked for 7 different airlines and reportedly provided more than 30 different badge numbers over the course of his bookings. How do you get these badge numbers? Where'd those come into play? I wonder if I was right about the inside help. Even though I wasn't, I mean, he didn't have to wear a uniform because he was just a passenger that was saying that he was a flight attendant. Where did he get these badges at? There's got to be like co-conspirators. Or did he just find them online and... I don't know. Interesting. He was also able to duplicate the process that let him fly for free as a fake employee across 3 more airlines and ultimately booking a total of 120 free flights between 2018 and 2024. Wow. Well, so he was in... It did say that he was in like secure places on a plane where he wasn't supposed... At an airport where he wasn't supposed to be. That must be just like the employee gate, wherever that is, where they get on the plane from. Wow. NBC News reports that according to court documents, Alexander does or did work for an airline. He does, though? He does or he did? You would think did would be first and then does would be in parentheses. I don't know. That's weird. Just a weird wording thing. One that is headquartered in Dallas, which would include Southwest Airlines and American Airlines on the passenger side, and Amistar Jet Charter and FlexJet. I've never heard of those. On the cargo, oh, these are cargo planes, charter flight side. Oh, so these are probably like, oh, okay, so these places are like small, so like charter flights. He reportedly started working there in 2015, but at no point was he a flight attendant or a pilot during his time at the company. Oh, so that's how he has knowledge of this whole thing. I mean, he didn't he never became a flight attendant. He probably just like worked in the airport. He probably just kind of knew that this was a thing. Maybe that's how he got the badge numbers through his job. Wow, this guy, I mean, he got caught. We still don't know how he got caught, but it was probably something pretty stupid. But this shit sounds pretty genius, actually. The Transportation Security Administration was involved in investigating the case that was eventually brought to court. According to the Department of Justice, the Transportation Security Administration. Huh. Yeah, I think he must have been... There must be, to get to this gate where they would load onto the plane, there must be like in a secure area or something. And that's how he got on the plane. That's why all the, like this, that's why they're taking the shit so seriously. Or they're just embarrassed that this shit happened. None of the airlines that got caught up in Alexander's scheme were mentioned in the announcement, which is not surprising as they are likely pretty embarrassed, about the whole thing. Well, I mean, what does that matter? I mean, if it's a court case, I mean, those are victims, right? Or maybe this whole Transportation Security Administration, maybe that's like a union thing, or maybe just like above like the airlines themselves, where they represented all the airlines. That's pretty crazy. But you would think you would still have to know who the victims were. How did they not end up in the court case? That's kind of wild. It doesn't exactly speak highly of the security protocols they have in place. Yeah, no shit. Of course, neither does the fact that Nathan Fielder was able to get people to follow airline employees around for days to study their behavior for a comedy show. What? Who was this guy? Nathan Fielder. I gotta see what that's all about. What? So who's this Nathan? So he got people to follow airline employees around. I wonder what that's all about. What was the goal? Were they actually going to try to get people on the plane by pretending to be flight attendants? Wow, I don't know. If you know what that's all about, throw it in the comments, and maybe I'll see it before I remember to check it out myself. Interesting. So, not exactly a banner year for the airline industry. We also keep having communication blackouts at air traffic control centers around the country. For what that's worth, yeah, that has nothing to do with this. Crazy. I'm just trying to wrap my head around. I mean, they don't say that. I mean, this article's pretty short, but they don't say how he got the credentials, and they don't say how he got caught. Huh. Damn. I guess he, like, insider information. I mean, he did work for an airline, so I guess that's kind of partially right. Wow, man. I gotta say, this guy's pretty. He got caught. I wonder how he got caught. That's kind of bothering me. You almost gotta salute a guy that's like. The only problem I have with that kind of shit is this guy put so much effort into figuring out how to get free flights. If he used that same kind of energy to, like, I don't know, start a fucking business, or, I don't know, just do something else that's not, like, criminal. I mean, clearly he knew he was breaking the law when he was doing this. I mean, Jesus Christ. Wow. I mean, he could have made a decent living doing something a lot more worthwhile than this. I wonder what he might still be working at that same airline. I don't know. That's crazy. While he has been convicted, the man is still waiting to see what his penalty will be. A judge will rule on Alexander's sentencing on August 25th. Oh, geez, that's kind of a minute away. This guy must have a couple of bucks if he can afford a lawyer that can push his sentencing that far down the road. I mean, this is from, when was this story from? The 13th, so it's only yesterday. I guess it is only a couple of months. It's not that far away now. You think about it, it is fucking halfway through June already. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, part of me wants to say, dude, that's a good fucking job. The other part of me is like, dude, I ain't getting on a fucking plane. I mean, these people just don't, granted, I don't think this is the same thing as like letting like a bomber or something on the fucking plane. I mean, this guy was just, it's more about stealing identity than it is actually like doing something dangerous to the plane, I think. But I ain't getting on a fucking plane anyway anytime soon. Just when you think you've heard it all. Jesus. Let me know what you think about this crazy ass story in the comments. But that's all I have for now. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.